Hi everyone, it's Susie. It's here for day 30 of 31 days of horror. So yes, there's one more day until the day of Halloween, and today for the penultimate, I think that's the word, day we are going to watch Unsane. Unsane is a movie directed by, I can only remember the surname, someone Soderbergh, and the story is that a woman has been stalked by a man, and because it's quite something to live, it's quite harsh on the mind, she's seeing a therapist, and I think it's like after the session, she's unwillingly signing herself in to a psychiatric hospital, and so she doesn't know how that she's gonna have to stay there, so she's not voluntarily doing this, and she's gonna want to get out of that because psychiatry hospital are not the greatest place to stay at, and she's gonna start to question her mind, and also the staff of the hospital is gonna start to question her sanity, because she's no longer going to know whether what she sees is real or not, and people are going to stop to believe her, and that's when she's gonna want to stop being where she is. And the reason why I wanted to watch this movie is because it's something I would not want to live myself, and yeah, it looks scary because it's something that can actually happen in real life. So yeah, hopefully the movie is going to be as good as the trailer, and yeah, I will see you in a few seconds for dinner. Well, dinner today is breakfast really, but I'll see you in a bit. So like I mentioned earlier, dinner today is breakfast. This is peanut butter porridge. This is obviously a grapefruit, and that is green tea. I think it's pineapple and grapefruit green tea with a bit of honey that my grandma gave me. Oh boy, that movie was quite something. I think, like I said earlier, I would not want something like that to happen to me because it's something that can actually happen in real life. And yeah, that was proper scary in that sense, and I think I found it a bit more scary than I would have, because being a victim of there was someone who was very obsessed with me, like a stalker, and he was mentally as well, mentally unstable, and he ended up stabbing his own father. So yeah, that's proper shit. Victim of sexual harassment and assault in the streets of London. And yeah, so I think before I go further in this review, if yourself have been a victim of sexual assault, sexual harassment, sexual abuse or abuse, mental abuse, don't watch that movie, because unless you feel like you will be able to handle like your PTSD and everything, but yeah, if you've been a victim of that, don't watch the movie. It's a good one. I think I will probably would have enjoyed watching this movie if I wasn't a victim of that kind of stuff. But yeah, the movie was proper scary because beside all like the sexual harassment and stalking stuff, the way it was filmed is that it was like a hidden camera kind of thing, and like where the camera shots, some of the camera shots where the camera was positioned, if it was filmed like it was very close to you, a bit like the position of my camera right now, you will, because of that, you feel like there's someone, or obviously because it's a movie, because there's someone always watching the main character, and a bit like the FPS with video games, and you feel like the oppression of it, and yeah, it's quite something. I will also, yeah, like I said, watch, if you feel like you can handle the stress of it, watch the movie. If you don't watch the movie. But if you haven't been a victim of that kind of stuff, watch that movie. It's quite interesting to see how stuff works in that with like psychiatric hospitals. But if you've been a victim, if you oh yeah, something I was thinking of, even if you haven't talked about to anyone, if you feel like someone has been stalking you, like very obsessed, like that guy was so obsessed with me, like every time I go home I was like, no, not always, but like there's sometimes like, oh, you know, in cases, because the guy was like quite is quite large, and because it's mentally unstable, you know, will have the force to like just stop me doing anything. When it comes like to sexual harassment or like sexual assault in the streets, I'm going for the fight, because usually the guys are like not thin, but they're not like that much bigger than me. But I know with the guy when like play like the violent person. But yeah, if you need to talk to someone, if that's the case, if you feel like someone's obsessed with you or someone's actually harassing you, do talk to someone to get help, or because you never know who can actually help you, and even like the little details can actually like help the police or help make you safe. If you haven't talked about it, I will put some in the description, some links to, if you live in the UK or maybe in France if I can find them as well, some links that can be useful to report like sexual harassment, sexual assaults and that kind of stuff, so you can get the help you need, so you can get those people arrested. And even sometimes the police says quite often, and mostly in the London Underground or like on the YouTube, like the adverts, and the police says even though they might not catch the person, if with each report it helps build the portrait of the person and how they behave and the physical characteristics and everything. And then with like, obviously you can arrest someone with just one report, but the more reports there is, the better, because they can arrest people easier. And yes, I will put some links in the description on how to get help and everything, mental health and all of that. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that for that movie, but what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna eat like sugary stuff and watch some comedy to get rid of that PTSD kind of thing. And I will see you tomorrow for day 31 of well, yeah, actually not tomorrow. Well, tomorrow is Halloween, but because I'm gonna watch the movies on actually the actual day, I will see you on the 1st of November for 31 days of horror. Bye.